Listen, it's so great to have this man back in the UFC. I'm so excited that he is here. And ladies and gentlemen, Youssef Zalal, what's up? How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to
I
see
say
you. Congratulations on the win on Saturday. Welcome back to the UFC. How good did that feel?
It feels great. It feels great. It's good to be back.
Yeah. Yeah. You worked really hard to get here.
590 days to be exact. That's Mark Montoya made that clear on the post. So I was like,
That's
wow, I
right.
didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, well, I did see that post that Mark shared, and so for folks who don't know, so he's talking about Mark Montoya, his coach out there at Factory X, and that Mark, Mark is such a thoughtful guy, but it was a really interesting post to read all that and to talk about that. So, like, I mean, you had to keep a lot of faith, right? When you got cut and you were trying to come back. So, what was the hardest part of keeping the faith?
Patience. That was the
Yeah,
hardest part. I feel like I was just always wanted like everything now. Like, even in my career, I was just fighting the whole time nonstop. So the patience was the hardest thing, right? And
hmm
discipline, I never had a problem with discipline. I never had a problem with training. I never had a problem with all that stuff. But for me, it was just like always just that patience. I was like, I wanted to happen now. And I was like,
yeah.
but instead, I just like realized, just focus on my own growth. I like really trying to be a better man, as a better fighter, and all that stuff. So that was the main focus, and then move from there. So that was the hardest part, is the patience, I think.
Well, and especially, I guess, too, since you fought four times in a year, right? The first time when you first got here. And so, uh, do you think that maybe in hindsight you shouldn't have done that?
Yes and no, for sure. Yeah, yes and no, yes and no. Because like the first time I was fighting in the UFC, like I told, it was like more of like not trying to embarrass myself, And I was like, "You in the UFC, that's all you can see." And like that's the only three words I saw,
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
UFC. That's it. Like I forgot about everything else. I forgot about my life. Forgot about my training. Like
Mhm.
it's not about forgot about my training. It's like I'm not just enjoying the experience, I'm just like just fight, 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 fight. You just focus on the big show, big show, So
Mhm.
that was kind of like the difference between that and now. Now it's like, hey, I know this is the fight. If there's a short notice opportunity comes up again, and I'm very confident about it, and I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, of course you'll see me fight again and stay more active. But I always trying to be active as well. I don't want to be sitting too long, because I kind of
Mhm.
don't like that. For me, that's who I am. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a lot more smarter now than before, for sure.
But the thing is, like you just said, you get to the big show, and if you're given these opportunities, it's very easy to think sometimes, well, gosh, another opportunity like this won't come around. I better take it. I better take it. I better take it. And so I understand the urge to take those fights.
That was kind of like the mentality too, to be honest. I was like,
Yeah.
because you have your coaches, your everybody else, and all the fights that I took, I was the favorite in the first
Yeah.
time I was in the UFC too. So it's like you have your coaches believe in you, you have everybody believe in you, and all that stuff. But all matters is you. That's what matters in the end of the day,
Mhm.
right? Well, like what when you go to bed, what are you thinking about, and when you get out of training, what are you really thinking about, What are you trying
Mhm.
to hide and stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of growth in that area. But yeah, I'm happy, very happy that it happened
Mhm.
at such a young age for me as a 23, and now I'm like 27. So I was like, I'm still young, but it's like I feel like I experienced so much at a young age, especially as a fighter.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's great, valuable experience that you got. You got it on the job, which can be hard, right?
It's not fun.
Yeah, it can.
It's not
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah. It can be hard. But so how did it come around to you getting back? So right, was you were maybe going to be on Tough, and then that didn't work out. So how did you end up getting back in?
So yeah, so the funny story was like I went in, did the tournament. I fought three fights in one night.
Hmm.
They were like, okay, because we couldn't find nobody to fight, blah blah. So it was like a great opportunity to go fight. So I was like, okay, let's do
Yeah.
that. I did that, and then right after that, it was like, okay, what do you guys want now? I just finished three guys. I fought kickboxing, boxing. I'm 5-0. Okay, what did the UFC need? I was like,
Hmm.
at the point that happened, they signed so many contender series guys, so they were not signing anybody new because the contender series guys need to get their fights in first.
Yeah.
So it was kind of very difficult and very like hard, you know. So I was like, it was
Hmm.
frustrating, you know, because I was like, well, I can't be mad about that because the guys got to show their opportunities in the contenders. So of course their shots is first, than me, right? So that's when the
Whoops,
oh
froze up a second. Yeah, there you go.
okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
so that was the kind of like the part, right? So and then I think it was like a couple months later, I get a call from the manager, and he said, "Hey, let's get you in the Ultimate Fighter.
Hmm.
I'm very confident that you're gonna be in it." So I was like, okay, awesome, man, let's do it. So I filled up the application, did the interviews, everything. I was the final 20 guys. 20 guys, 8 in each weight
Hmm.
class. So 2 people going to be alternate. So I was like, okay, awesome. So I go in there. I think this was like 3 weeks ago. I go
Uh-huh.
in there. They got me from Monday to Friday, quarantine in a hotel, doing medicals and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And then the producer comes in, and then he says, hey, you didn't make the final cut. You're an alternate. So you talk about, man, you tested my patience. You tested
Uh,
my faith. You tasted. I mean,
you
you
tested.
tested
Yeah.
everything,
Everything.
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 So I even got a call from one of my good friends, and he was like, hey, here's an Uber Eats gift card because we couldn't get out, and the producers couldn't let me get out either.
Right.
So
Right.
I was like, man. He was like, man, go buy your ice cream, get an In and Out, whatever you need. And
Yeah. Right.
I was like, nah, man, nah, I'm good. So I got like a healthy version cookies, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I'm just gonna relax, and something's gonna happen, man. And literally, I call my manager as soon as the producer leaves my room.
Hmm.
I call my manager and my coach, and then 23 hours later, I get the call to fight in the UFC.
I mean, that's even like, and
I know
so it's
it was kind of better. Yeah, it kind of worked out.
it's kind of better. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's better, right? I mean, the Ultimate Fighter is an incredible experience, but you've already been to the show. So, I feel like the Ultimate Fighter would have been like a really long way back around. You know what I mean?
For sure, but I was actually a little excited about it
But it
because
could have been cool, right? Yeah.
people get to know me a lot more. You know, the
Yeah.
high energy
Yeah.
guy,
Right.
the talking smack and all this stuff. I feel like a lot of guys don't know that about me, but if you ask my teammates, I'm that guy. But I don't know. I feel like they would know me a lot more.
That's
So I
true.
feel like that would be better for my brand, better for my all that
Hmm.
stuff. But I was very happy to no matter what, still show who I am and who actually I am in the UFC and even a higher stage. So
Yeah, I mean it's incredible, and that's yeah, you're 100% right. It would have been great to have you there every week and for everybody to see your personality because like I was saying, or I met you on Fight Island, and you came into that fighter meeting, and we were all like, "This dude's the best!" Like you have such great energy. I remember you were telling us the your resting heart rate was something
yeah,
insane,
remember
like
I
140 or
showed you
something.
guys. I showed you
Yes,
guys. You, Paul Felder, and everybody else. I think I was like at 100 something. I was like,
yeah,
wow. I was like, they were
yeah,
like, man. He was Paul Felder was like, I feel like if I go at 100, I'm be working out. I was like, no, that's
right.
just me normal.
Yeah, that was just your resting heart rate, which is incredible, which is why you are so able to keep a fight going and keep a pace going, and for quite some time. But you definitely did. You're a different fighter now, right? So in terms of the fight that you had on Saturday, you got that second round finish. So like, where do you think you leveled up, right? Because it is cool. You're back now, and it's like you're in such a tough division, but you definitely leveled up.
Uh, for sure. It's
Yeah.
like Mark Montoya, obviously my head coach, makes us pick a word every year,
Hmm.
and I picked so many words. Right, picked free, decision. Last year was like me making decisions, right, making the right decisions, all that stuff. This year is more precision, like more precise
Hmm.
about my everything else, right? So I feel like I always been a talented kid. I always been and like just a good like striking, jiu-jitsu,
Hmm.
all that stuff. I always been good everywhere, to be honest. But with the only thing that changed is the confidence and then the actual understanding of like who I am as a person, right? But understanding who I am as a fighter as well. I feel like sometimes I went in and obviously in the first phase of UFC, Youssef, the old Youssef was, oh, why is he shooting for a takedown? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Right? So the kind of like still the IQ was not there that much or not believing in his IQ that much. And I feel like I'm a very high IQ guy.
Mhm.
That's what I preach on. That's what I always go on, and I always show that to my teammates and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But the biggest is the confidence. The confidence and letting the experience take over. I
Nice.
have like 20. I was like crazy. I was like, this fight was my 20th professional fight.
Yeah. Jeez. That's a
I'm
lot. That's good.
27
That's yeah.
too. I was like, holy smokes, I'm 27.
That's amazing. You're gonna catch up to Anthony, your teammate Anthony Smith, there with his
Oh God.
97 fights or something
Yeah, he's
ridiculous.
been fighting since, well, I don't even know when. He's fighting like every weekend almost in Nebraska or something.
Totally.
I was like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. But you do have a great team, and it is really fun. And so now you're here. You're back at it. I'm trying to remember. Did you call somebody out after the fight? I'm trying to remember if you did.
No, I didn't call nobody out. I was like, you give me
No.
whoever they want.
Yeah.
I didn't even know because I thought Billy was like number 19 or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
before he fought Damon, he fought the number
Hmm.
14, Barbosa. They just announced
Yeah.
Barbosa fighting Murphy, Leon
Hmm.
Murphy, I think. So I was like, I really don't care who they give me. I was like, I'm at the point that I'm so confident that obviously
Hmm.
I fought the champ. Not a lot of guys know that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I fought the champ and I made him like we had a fight, like a
Yeah.
great fight.
It was it went to decision. You went to decision with Ilya Tapuria, a lot of like that guy that everybody's afraid of.
Oh, sure. I'm not afraid of him, but I mean, like I said, I lost the third round.
Yeah.
I mean, I won the third round.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I won the third round, lost the first, second. He won that, obviously. So, and obviously, like I lost that fight, and that fight was the best thing that ever happened to me, and the
Hmm.
worst thing that ever happened to me. Right? I went in on a 3 losing streak after that, and a decision that was not a draw. By the way, I was like, I'm gonna be the Sean O'Malley at that one. Like,
Hmm.
turn my draw to my win, please, because Damon even knows he lost that fight.
Yeah.
That was in San Diego too. I was.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Well, hey, I know I want to get to some questions for you, but so there is a rumor now that we've got Dricus and stuff. There may be a show in Africa at some point. What would that mean for you? Morocco's the only place in Africa I've been, and I'm dying to get back there. But if anywhere on the continent, like, what would that mean for you to be able to fight on home-ish soil?
Oh, there's the words are not even in there. Oh my God! If we fight in Morocco,
Yeah,
oh my God, I think that would be the craziest show they ever had. Oh man,
right.
that would be a dream
Wouldn't
come
it?
true. That would be like the kid
Yeah,
that's you just waiting for those dreams. You're like, that's when I can go back home and be like, Mama, we made it right there. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm
right.
not gonna walk out to her.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, even if it's down in South Africa or something like whatever, there would be a ton of your people there.
Oh, for
And I just think
sure, for
it'd be so
sure.
cool. It'd be so cool.
You'll see red everywhere.
Well, like I said, there's a bunch of things here, and I want to see if there's other. I want to just make sure because I'm sure some people have some questions and stuff like this, or mostly it's just everybody saying how much they're like proud of you. I mean, that means a lot, obviously, because hey, Billy joined too. It means a lot to have like all that support and everything. Like it's got to mean so much to you to know that like I feel like that for a lot of people, like when they know they've got like a whole country supporting them, it has to feel amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, like before, I used to like have it as a pressure, right? Because I'm like, man, I don't
Uh,
want to disappoint my country, my people, and all this stuff. But
yeah.
it's like no matter what I learned in this sport, no matter how good you're doing or how bad you're doing, you're still gonna get haters and you're still gonna get fans and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So for me, I was like I always, since as a kid, I always done this for my country, and I'll always do this for
Yeah.
my country until I die and represent the young kids, the young upcoming kids, the
Mhm.
struggle kids, and everything. I'll always represent that behind my back, and I'll fight with that all the way to the end.
I love it, and I feel like that's the whole thing. Like that, they can feel it, and so win or lose, they've got your back. Like just look at how much Georgia supports all those Georgian guys and stuff. You know what I mean? Not it's incredible. I've seen and like there's a couple of guys from Tajikistan, right, in the UFC now, right? Have you seen they'll like
Yeah.
put like the TV up in town square and everybody? It's just cool. I think it's just cool.
Yeah, everybody's watching my fight at, I think it was like 2:30 a.m. in
Right,
Morocco.
right. Oh my
Losing it,
God, that's
losing it.
it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, so now that you are that you're back though, I'm just going through all these, looking for, see if there's some question. But like, so what do you hope to accomplish now, right? Like you've been here before, so you know the lay of the land a little bit better. Did it, now that you're back for the second time, did it adjust what your dreams are? Did it adjust maybe like the timeline you had for achieving your dreams? What do you think?
I want to change my life. That's
Yeah.
that's my whole thing, right? And I know to achieve that, I need to be the best in the world, and not just the best in the world. That bring out my who I am, not
Mm-hmm.
try to hide who I am, and all that stuff. So that's like the time frame. I really don't have a time frame. I'm young,
Yeah.
and I feel like people at champions are like what 33, 34, that around that
Yeah.
age, exceptions obviously Ilya Taporia and Sean O'Malley, right? But those
Yep.
those are the younger guys, so I feel like I got plenty of time and I got
Mm-hmm.
plenty more experience to happen. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like I said, man, I just want to change my life, and I know to do that I need to work even harder, right? And then that's normal, but to even be who I am and like show who I am and be the best in the world.
Nice. Awesome. What are you doing to celebrate? Or did you go right back to the gym? Did Mark give you the day off today?
He definitely gave me the day off. He definitely gave me the day off. But
Yeah.
I'm actually doing Ramadan right now, so
Right.
I really don't train in Ramadan. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
like just take it easy a little bit. So and the sleep schedule gets messed up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because I try to stay up till like later at night to kind
To
of
eat
eat and
more.
drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to eat more and you talking about yeah, I'm like a fat boy in Ramadan, and especially if I go back home, Morocco, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, you
Oh,
talk about the food. Yeah.
the food.
You've
No,
been there.
oh,
You've been there, so you know
I've been
exactly what
there.
I'm talking
I love
about.
the food. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? Oh,
so
the
yeah,
tagines
it's
with the thing and
oh,
the cooking and the
stop it,
oh,
girl. Stop it. Don't get me going, girl. Stop
forget
it. Oh my god.
about it. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Well, listen, I'm just really glad that you're back, and it's just was such a cool fight for you to come back and win in such a like professional and measured way against a guy that we all know is so tough. I mean, so that's the thing. It's not even like you just came back and like just scraped a win. Like you got a great win against a really good fighter.
Yeah, and like you said, like as soon as I walked in on fight week, like all the pressure was like, I don't know, they feeding him to the wolves.
Yeah.
We're gonna see this, and then Billy comes out and says his style is a bad style for me, and this
Yeah.
and that. It's gonna be a tough fight. We might see a fight of the night. And
Hmm.
in my head, I always thought this. I was like, well, you could think it's fight of the night, but one, you never fought somebody like me. That's just one. And so as soon
Yeah.
as I kind of went in there, and the kind of Mark got in there, and especially in the back, Mark was like, "It's like good seeing you in those gloves," and I started like
Yeah.
really being in my zone a little bit. So, but yeah, man, I was like, wow, like they were just hyping him up, and they forgot about what I can bring into the table, and even the odds. The
Yeah.
odds that came in, they're like, man, I was the big underdog, and then on fight day, it was Bickham, and I was like, yeah, you guys knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they said like halfway through the first round, you became the favorite or something like
I
that.
think so,
So
yeah, because they knew us. They're like, oh man, we forgot how fast this kid is. We forgot how this
yeah.
kid is. This, and that.
Yeah.
Because I had to get my African energy out.
That's right. It's that recency bias and everything. I mean, you understand it. So at least you know, at least you know, at least you know, but you got that African energy out. You definitely did. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, it's so cool catching up with you, and I'm really glad that you had time today. And congratulations. And I'm bummed I wasn't working last weekend, but hopefully I'm
I
working your
know.
next fight because you're
I
really,
you gotta say something to Michael Chiesa and all those guys. They were saying they were throwing some smoke my way. I was like, okay. I was like, I can't wait to talk to you guys. I was like, they were saying, oh, well, Billy wasn't the same. Oh, this, and this, and that. And I'm like, I'm happy for Youssef, but Billy didn't show up. That's not the Billy we know, blah, blah. I'm like, no, no,
right,
no, 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 no. It's the style that I brought that Billy couldn't do
right,
nothing about. But,
right.
I was a little salty about that. So I gotta say, I know you know Michael Chiesa, so
Yeah, I do.
say something. And D. Thomas, too. I gotta talk to his ass, too.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You should come after Dean. Definitely, definitely. Well, yeah. If I had been working, I would have stood up for you. Because like you said, I mean, Billy is a great fighter, but you were dominating that night. It was your fight. So that's what happened. Is that Youssef went in and won the fight. That's what happened. Right.
I know. That's why I was like, It's okay. It's okay. I'll get you guys
Yeah.
next one. I'll get you
Yeah.
guys in the next one.
Yeah, and I think if anything, that diminishes it by saying Billy wasn't himself. It's like that's not fair to you. That's like that I don't know. That's kind of yeah. I didn't. Yeah. No.
I know. I was
Billy.
watching it because I was trying to wait for the bonuses. I was watching the
Yeah.
after post show, and I was like, oh man, I was just waiting for the bonuses.
Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna win. And they were talking about the fights, and then I was kind of like listening, and I was like, oh whatever. I kind of like was like, okay, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
Let me get top guys, and then let me go outclass them as well, and then see what they gotta say.
Right. And then we'll see. And then we'll see. Well, that's so cool. And we're happy that you're back. And yeah, the next time everybody will know. And the next time you'll probably be the favorite on the card, you know? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's excellent. And I just want to let people know we're talking to Juicy, Julian Arosa in a couple of minutes as well, who was also victorious on Saturday. But listen, yeah, Youssef, just congrats and like keep doing your thing. Whatever you did in that time off, that maturity, that patience, everything that you worked on, it really worked because you looked fantastic on Saturday.
I appreciate you. I have great people around me. I really do.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot.
You definitely do. All right, cool. I'm going to try to make sure I do this the right way and save this so that it's archived on my page, and then hopefully I'll be able to put it up on YouTube as well. But yeah, I really appreciate your time, and thanks everybody for joining us. And like I said, I'll be back in a few minutes with another one, but stay cool, Youssef. Thanks for kicking back with me.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you soon.
I don't even know how to do this either.
I know. We're like a couple of dorks here. We're like, oh, I don't know. All right, I'll see you soon.
You don't know how to do this.
Bye.
Bye.